Hello, Cybernet's back with me, Lucy Longhurst. In this show, we'll fly high with Banjo, meet a magical Max, rule the land of black and white, and race to the finish line. It's phenomenal. It's Cybernet. We welcome you to the show with Banjo, Kazooie and the rest of his amiable chums perched on their behinds playing cards. Meanwhile, wicked witches Minghella and Blobelda are busy rescuing their evil sister Gruntilda so they can join forces and reap revenge on the fluffy citizens of Spiral Mountain. Yes, Banjo, the big-handed bear with a bird in his backpack, has returned to the limelight with Banjo Tooie, the follow-up to one of the N64's most successful platform games. This time round, Gruntilda and her revolting relatives are sucking the life force out of the world to return the sinful sorceress to her former glory. And it's up to Banjo and his merry mates to stop her. There are over 9 new environments to navigate on your quest, and as in the original, you'll need to constantly switch play between Banjo and his balmy buddy Kazooie to accomplish the various tasks ahead. There'll also be a wide range of extra playable characters to add a bit of variation and scope to the gameplay. Each has their own skills and abilities that will probably take some getting used to. The first-person shooting mode is now included in the single-player game, and when a few extra controllers are plugged in, it'll also be the feature attraction of some excellent Quake-style sub-games. In fact, there's a wealth of multiplayer fun to be had long after the one-player adventure comes to an end. Although the basic explore and collect style remains unchanged, the sheer volume of gameplay refinements and additional features makes Banjo Tooie far superior to its predecessor. So it looks like yet another inventive outing with the talented twosome. Spent the last few months wondering what's happened to our favourite pig dog, Max? Abracadabra, here he is. In Max's latest escapade, he's sharing screen space with a magician. Can you guess what the game's called? Yes, it's entitled Max and the Magician. The wizard goes by the name of Merlin, and he's in an awful situation. And as awful situations go, this has to be one of the worst. A wicked witch has transformed Merlin into a toilet brush.
It's me, Max. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, all right.
So Max must find the secret formula to undo the magic spell and release Merlin from his toilet scrubbing duties.
And then I shall take my revenge on that stupid old witch Hagabell.
The formula can be found somewhere in the house, but it's been chopped up into 7 pieces which have all been hidden. Clicking on items will occasionally release a piece of the puzzle. At other times it will simply produce an amusing animation. If you do manage to solve the formula, Merlin can return to normal, but then what will Max use to clean the toilet? Young children and young-minded adults will find Max and the Magician an enjoyable experience. I wonder what spellbinding sensations Max will have for us next time.
Yippee! Oh, Max, I'm no longer a stinky, scratchy toilet brush with a bad haircut.
Attention all you Pocket Monster fans! If you want to excel in Pokemon Puzzle League, the latest console game featuring those colourful Japanese mini beasts, grab a pen and try this canny little cheat. To unlock the ultimate trainers, at the Trainer Select screen, hold down L, R and Z on both the controllers. You can now slot those blocks into place and get to work beating the Puzzle Master, knowing that you've been coached by the best of them. There's never been a better excuse to go Poke mad. Battle your way through head-to-head games and try some really tough sequences. This will get your fingers flying and show your friends what you're really made of. You won't be able to resist spreading the word. Who's calling? Is that you, Pikachu? Have you got the need for speed? Then buckle up and get ready for a pair of rip-roaring racers guaranteed to quicken your pulse and accelerate your adrenaline. Let's first shift into gear with Vanishing Point on the PlayStation. At first glance, it feels just like an ordinary arcade-style racing game. However, you'll soon discover that there's quite an enjoyable racer rumbling underneath the bonnet. At the beginning, you might be disappointed when you realise there are only 2 cars at your disposal, but after achieving a few first-place finishes in the tournament mode, you'll be able to leave this clunky Ford Explorer behind and unlock 30 additional vehicles like a BMW, a Dodge Viper, or this Ford Mustang Cobra. The car models are realistically reproduced here with good attention to detail, while in the much-needed tune-up mode your vehicle's handling can be improved with some minor alterations. The 13 tracks also have an authentic appeal to them. The realistic cityscapes pass by at over 100 miles per hour and contain lots of crafty corners and sweeping curves. Unlike the original release on the Dreamcast, this version suffers from muffled sound effects and a softer resolution. So while Vanishing Point isn't the heir apparent to Gran Turismo, it should keep you on track, provided you don't run into any petrol trucks along the way. If that game hasn't given you road rage yet, then the rollicking Rumble Racing for PlayStation 2 most certainly will.
Move it!
The gameplay here is extremely straightforward. You focus on speed and destroying other cars. What a perfect combination. There are 4 modes to choose from which give you plenty of playing options, and after you select your car and skill level, you're ready to rock. There are lots of things here that really sets this title apart from other combat racing games. To begin with, the 15 track designs are top-notch, taking you to such locations as the Wild West. In addition, the cars are very responsive and there's a nice variety of petrol-guzzling beasts to choose from.
Giddy up!
We think the best part of the game is having fun with the stunts and tricks. Fortunately, the more you pull off, the more nitro boosts you'll be rewarded with, which are crucial during the race. It's not as easy as it looks, though. OK, let's try that one again. There we go. The game also features plenty of shortcuts, so you can blast through windows, bushes and caves to reveal secret paths. And as you progress, you'll gain access to a wide range of weapons. Rumble Racing has spectacular crashing animations, and there's even some funny commentary. So if you'd like a furious fighter and speedy racer all rolled into one, then this might just be what you're looking for. Now here's a look at our top 10 flying characters. At 10, he's cute, he's purple, and he's got the hottest breath around. It's Spyro the Dragon from Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer. The entire Psychic Force 2 crew has got gravity-defying powers, but our favourite is tough redhead Might, and he's at 9. At 8, he's not a high flyer, but MDK2's Kurt Hectic's always up for some gliding action in his amazing coil suit. Another magnificent beast who's sweeping through the skies, it's Panzer Dragoon, soaring in at number 7. At 6, is it a bird, is it a plane? We're not sure, but he has a fantastic pair of wings. It's Moltres from Pokemon Snap. Jet Force Gemini's Lupus, the feisty pooch with the rocket-powered paws, is at number 5. The jetpack-charged humanoid Baz from Giant Citizen Kabuto floats in at 4. At 3, you wouldn't want this chap to land on you. J-Bomb from Blast Corps, an explosive fella once he takes off. At number 2, it's the dorsal-spinning cheeky fox Tails from Sonic Adventure. And flying into the top spot, it's the super-swooping Jayati from Zone of the Enders. Welcome to the wonderful world of Lego Island. We explore with Peppa the Pizza Delivery Brick in this new PC title, Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge. First, you'll need to deliver some pizzas. This'll help you get your bearings and give you the chance to meet some of the island's colourful citizens.
Hey, don't forget to get paid now. And don't forget to smile so you'll get a tip.
Be careful not to walk on the railway tracks, though, or the flying station master will swiftly remove you. Once this delivery task is complete, you'll learn the horrible truth. The Brickster has broken free from jail and is deconstructing all the buildings on the island. Needless to say, this villainy is leaving the residents in a state of shock. It's up to you to save the day. Completing puzzles will earn you points and lead you to the Brickster's whereabouts. Controlling Peppa is very easy, whatever method of transport you decide on. There's loads available, which is fortunate because the island is enormous. You can even change the colour of your vehicle by hitting the return key. The graphics are a real standout with detailed environments based on the classic blocks. We also greatly enjoyed the chance to chat up some friends we met along the way.
To the lion's castle I go.
You must have a horse, of course. We will loan you one.
Pepperoni on a pony. Way cool.
There's only one thing left to say about Lego Island 2. It's brilliant. OK, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is a PlayStation and a copy of C12 Final Resistance. So get ready to take on the role of Lieutenant Vaughn and confront crafty cyborgs on your quest to save Earth. To win this prize, call our number and answer this question. Which colour traffic light indicates go? A, green, B, blue, or C, purple? If you think you know, call 09009 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck! Coming up, beam aboard the Enterprise, revisit a gaming classic and check out a mobile marvel. Cybernet. Life is full of moral conundrums. Do you rush out an eagerly anticipated computer game knowing its reputation alone will secure success? Or do you take your time, mould it to perfection and produce something special? Something like Black and White. Yes, it's finally arrived, and we're relieved to report that the life's work of celebrated designer Peter Molyneux and his Lionhead team is absolutely stunning. Black and White is a glorious combination of experience, imagination, and innovation. The game casts you as an all-powerful god summoned into existence by the prayers of a desperate couple. After introducing yourself in spectacular fashion, it's time to decide how to administer your great power. Thankfully, help is on hand in the form of two companions.
Greetings. We're your conscience. Good and evil. Yin and yang. Black and white.
Your guides familiarise you with your environment as well as offer you a choice of creature to represent you on Earth. Although small at first, your creature grows and develops as you progress. How it develops is entirely down to you. You lead by example, so if you're kind and generous, your creature will follow suit. Abuse your power, however, and you'll nurture a dangerous monster who won't think twice about letting his aggression out on your villagers.
Some of the greatest challenges are deciding what you're going to do within the world. Are you going to run every minute detail in the world? Are you going to worry about every single little person? Are you going to worry about your creature, try and bring your creature up as being this wonderfully kind, nice, perfect personality? And so the big challenge really is to really run the world in the way you want it run.
It's impossible to explain just how detailed and intricate your world is, and the sheer scale of the game is initially bewildering. Thankfully, the revolutionary interface couldn't be simpler.
The way you control the game entirely is through the use of a hand. The idea is that you could just reach and pick up things you wanted to pick up. You could throw things, you could manipulate things just by using the hand, and that is the only mechanism. And there are as many times now I've said to myself, I just wish I could use an icon. But no, we've religiously stuck to it. The whole of the control of the game is set within the world itself.
This includes your spellcasting abilities, which require you to outline shapes and gestures with the mouse. The more powerful the spell, the trickier the gesture. Even your creature can learn a few tricks. Black and White is a truly epic experience. If you love computer games, then you simply have to play this. Peter Molyneux, we just have one thing to say.
We praise you!
We journey back in time to the mystical Far East now with Dynasty Warriors 2 for PlayStation 2. In this game, success or failure often depends on the quality of your general. So if you want a bigger choice, grab a pen and try this cheat. At the main menu, press Square, Square, L1, L2, R1, R2, Square and Square. This roaring sound confirms correct entry. You'll now have access to over 20 hidden generals, so make a selection from this motley crew and start galvanising the troops. Take it from us, you'll be conquering continents in no time and armed with only a fan. Fantastic! Of all the big releases at the end of last year, the most overlooked was one of the finest games of all time. Well, we're putting that right because Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is our Game of the Week. Link's first N64 adventure, Ocarina of Time, was hailed as a classic, and many mistakenly believed that Majora's Mask was simply more of the same. But a darker storyline, a more difficult challenge, and some intricate time travelling actually made for a far more rewarding adventure. Nintendo's aging console still managed to produce some marvellous graphics to complement the action, and the fast pace combined with zero loading time demonstrated the one thing we'll miss the most about chunky cartridges. Then, of course, there were the form-altering masks. Scary to put on, but fantastic fun when experimenting with the new abilities they bestowed. The thing we'll remember most about Majora's Mask, however, is the fantastic design of the dungeons. Less labyrinthine than in the last adventure, but far more devious. Completing them gave you a real sense of achievement. Ocarina of Time will always be the more famous of the two, but we're in no doubt as to which one we prefer. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was and is magnificent. The mobile communications market is now one of the fastest growing industries in the world. With some major multinational companies in constant competition to supply their customers with the very latest hardware, it's hardly surprising that mobiles launched 1 week ago look hopelessly out of date the next. Consequently, it's also one of the most difficult markets to predict future trends and fads. But that hasn't stopped them from trying. Desperately striving to stay one step ahead of the pack, mobile phone manufacturers are pouring billions of dollars into research and development. To this end, they've dedicated countless technicians, designers, artists, and forward planners, each focusing not on the present, but on the future range of mobiles. This area of development has been nicknamed 3G, or the third generation of wireless hardware. If we consider the brick-sized mobiles of the 1980s as the first generation, and today's WAP phones the second generation, then 3G is destined to be the next stage in the evolution of wireless technology. And although they're not yet available, we thought we'd take a quick peek at some visions of the future. These might be some of the mobile phones that we can look forward to in the years ahead. First of all, it looks like good news for us gamers out there. Once the quest for greater bandwidth is achieved, it'll permit the transmission of large quantities of rich data, allowing internet gaming to become truly portable. In addition, with full-scale internet access available on every handset, a world of lifestyle opportunities will suddenly become available to the consumer. For instance, you'll be able to order groceries wherever you are, and if you ever need directions, the phone will show you the way. But perhaps the most important technical advancement yet to be achieved is the development of the mobile video phone. As well as showing you where the person you're speaking to is, this kind of hardware has an almost limitless operating potential and would almost certainly become an invaluable resource to everyone who already owns a phone. And although streaming of live television broadcast directly to your phone appears to be an incredible proposition, the designers and strategists of the next generation of mobiles are aiming to achieve it. In 10 or 20 years' time, you could even find yourself downloading film trailers at the cinema. Whether these are the kind of mobiles we're ever likely to see is anyone's guess, but rest assured, whatever the future holds, the world is going to become a very small place indeed. America hasn't always been the home of skyscrapers, movie stars, and enormous double-deck hamburgers. Back in the 19th century, this was one of the roughest, toughest places to live and work. And America on the PC transports you back to that time. This real-time strategy game sees you controlling the destinies of people, all jostling for space, resources, and prosperity. There are 30 different missions, each with 4 levels of difficulty. This is a nice option since the game is rather complex and can take quite a while to get to grips with. But when you do, you'll immerse yourself in the sights, sounds, lifestyle and architecture of 19th century America, all recreated with amazing authenticity. As master of all you survey, you'll be able to alter the outcome of historical events such as the Alamo or the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Well, congratulations, Deputy. You got me in the lockup now.
We thoroughly enjoyed America and think that if you try to win the West, you will too. Strategy games can be a little tedious, but with research and historical information, America comes out on top. Boldly going into the future, just like America's pioneers, is the Star Trek crew in its latest incarnation. This is Star Trek Away Team on the PC, a strategy game that will take you to the very edges of the universe and back again, hopefully. And yes, we know what you're thinking. How can any more juice be squeezed from the popular Star Trek stable?
The situation out there is delicate. There can be no room for errors.
We couldn't agree more, and thankfully the manufacturers of this game haven't made any. Star Trek Away Team is a complex and absorbing title that will see you battling across the universe in such delightful places as Borg cubes and Romulan outposts.
Excellent. That task is complete.
There are 17 highly trained specialists to choose from, and using stealth, espionage and combat tactics, you must do the Star Federation's dirty work whilst denying any link with the organisation. The environments are detailed and imaginative. We especially like the way the view changes as you enter a building, but be warned, once inside you must get down to serious business. The enemy acts intelligently and, just like the TV show, anyone in a red shirt is potential cannon fodder. Anyway, it looks like I've got to go. Beam me up, Scotty.
Hey, happy.
I'm off to seek out strange new worlds, and I think I'll start with this one. Stand by though, because we'll materialise again soon to deliver another dose of the very best in computer entertainment. Don't forget you can always try our competition to win a console. Until then, here's a treat courtesy of the MTV Music Generator 2 on PS2. It's out of this world. It's Cybernet.
It's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. My future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on. My